Hi. So let us start with software because in order to understand software in engineering, the entire concept of software engineering, it's very important to understand what is software. Most of you are actually aware of what is software itself. Okay, so I will in this particular session I will try to cover up with what exactly do you understand by a software. So what are the different characteristic that is associated with the software, and then typically what is the difference between a program and a software. Yes, and then we'll talk about the qualities of a good software itself. Okay, so what is a software? So day to day you've been using different kind of software like MS Word itself. If you're using some kind of MySQL and all. Yes, so software is nothing but it's a collection of instructions that the computer program itself, right? When executed, when executed, it will provide you some kind of desired output. Okay, and it will be associated with having some kind of performance, and it will have certain desired features. When I say desired feature means what are the features that I wanted in this particular software itself. Okay, right. Apart from that, we have certain kind of data structure that will help the entire instruction, that is the programs, to efficiently manipulate the information associated, and the software will be associated with documentation. Okay, so this documentation will actually describes how the how to operate that particular software, what is the how to use this particular software itself. So whenever you go with the software, you will see that you will have an installation guide. Okay, or you have a user manual itself, so how to use that particular software itself. And whenever you are studying the software engineering, you see that once whilst developing, a lot of other documentations are associated, like SRS, software requirement specification, the design document, the testing documents, and many other documents are there, which we're going to discuss slowly. So when you talk about software is nothing but instructions, data structures, documentations. Okay, right? So, having said this, now let us move to the next. What are the characteristics of software itself? So, software is developed. Okay, it is engineered. It is not manufactured in a classical sense. That is your part, right? That's why software is. So, we are developing a software. When you are saying developing a software, okay, we are understanding what is the actually the need. Okay, and based on that, we are trying to solve that particular need itself in a computational manner itself. Okay, and the software doesn't wear out. Okay, and software doesn't have an odor, or does not have a smell. Okay, and it is intangible. Okay, right. And it doesn't wear out. When you say when you talk about your car with wheel, sorry, we have we have the wheels and all. Okay, so you say the tires wears out and all this thing. Software doesn't matter. The software dies, right? So maybe there are certain software which are used in the year 2014 or in 2000, something like that. Still this type of software we doesn't see. So software dies. Okay, but it doesn't wear out. And another typical thing is that even though industry is moving into component based construction, let me tell you, component based means we're talking as a package itself. Okay, right? We have a web services and all. Okay, so we have a API, so you're trying, which can be reused in whenever you are trying to develop a particular software. So already moving into, but still custom built software means it's the software which is built for a particular customer. Okay, understanding his requirement, what is need. Okay, in respect to his business, right? So it's still in the development of software still continue in kind of custom build, even though companies still you are looking into component based. Even if, when you are doing a custom based software also, maybe you may think a certain part of that particular software can be used as a component in likely in a different development of another software itself. So such things are is there. But what I in this particular I'm to say that even we have this component base, still we have the custom build software itself. Okay, now let us understand what is the difference between a program and a software product. When you talk about program, the size of the program is very small. Okay, and it is something like I'm writing a program itself. So I'm only the person which is involved in the software. in this particular program itself. Sorry. So for the software, it is large number of code, very complex. Okay, so many peoples are working together. So typically program a single developer, but when you talk about software, it is a team of developer itself. Okay, and a program lacks proper user interface, but we have in a software well designed interface. Okay, so user interface also we'll discuss, right? When you talk about interface, it is something like it is a way or a window through which user will be interacting with the software. So more friendly, user friendly, okay, more easy to use. It will be better for the user to use the particular software. But software has that good interface, but program doesn't have. And programs lacks proper documentation, but software we have well documented documentation, plus we have user millet and all. Program is a ad hoc base. There is no systematic, no constructive way of developing the particular software itself. But whenever you are talking about software, full discipline, systematic way approach, through which the software has been developed, and that is where software engineering come into the perspective itself. Okay, so what are the qualities of a good software? Usability, as I was telling, the user interface. So it is very, when you are talking about a good software, it should be easy to use. It is easy to learn quickly. The user can easily use it and learn it. Okay, right? Efficiency, right? It should not going to use a lot of memories, a lot of CPU time and all. If you say you try to uh, fetch a record, okay, and you're waiting for 1 minute or 2 minutes to get the result, that means you will be frustrated. So having said that, you have to look into the efficiency, in terms of performance, and how limited you are using this particular resource itself. Okay, dependability. So it can be reliable, it is secure, it is safe. Okay, right? So when you are using a software, it will give you the well desired, whatever desired output you are talking about. It is safe, secure, so nobody is able to going to hack that particular software itself. Okay, so these are some of the good qualities of the software. Maintainable, yes, the software is easy to maintain. Any kind of modification, any kind of new involved changes of the requirement can be easily catered without hampering the quality of the software. Reusability is another quality which the part of the software can be easily used. Okay, right? With little or minor modifications itself. So when you talk about quality, usability comes, efficiency come, dependability come, maintainability come, usability comes into picture. Okay, right? Now when you talk about quality of a good software, okay, now can be based on certain your viewpoint. You may look into different ways. So as a user, I will be more interested towards how easy the software is to learn. Okay, how efficiently I can use it. Okay, and easily the work can be done. Okay, so I'll be looking on that. So my quality will be on this particular. As a customer, I'll be looking at a software which is reasonable. Okay, so when I say reasonable, means the cost is less. Okay, and within a particular time period, I'm getting it within limited what you say resources. I'm able to achieve. I want to I can get that, right? So as a developer, I will see how easy I can easily design. Okay, I how easily I can code, and whenever certain changes, I can easily incorporate that changes, and I can maintain that particular software itself. As a manager, I will think how I can make that particular software in such a regional way, so that both customer will be happy with acceptable cost, and it will be also easy for a developer to develop, and for overall as an organization, okay, which I'm delivering the software to the customer, it will be a profit base for us. Plus more less time will be involved whenever such kind of maintenance issues and all these things comes into picture. So these are the certain what you say ways through which different stakeholders like customers, users, developer, manager, developer will try to think on the quality of a good software itself. Okay, so let me summarize and what we have discussed today, right? See, whenever you are talking about software, we have to understand what is a software itself. So software is nothing but a collection of instructions, data structures, and we have the documentation itself, right? And then we have seen the characteristic. It is never manufactured. We are talking about engineered and developed. Okay, so software doesn't wear out, no order, smell and all these things. And apart from that, even though we are moving into component based, developing a software, still we have, when you talk component based, some kind of usability, still we are thinking of uh, in a customer build software itself. Okay, then we see the difference between a program and a software itself, right? We see that the software you need a large team to develop, it can in a program in a small, can be developed itself. Okay, you have systematic way of developing. It is an ad hoc base. Okay, we have a team of developers, and we don't have a team of developers out here. Okay, then we move into the quality, like we have the it should be easily usability, easy to use, efficient, maintainable and all. And then we have seen the quality of the software in terms of perspective to different stakeholder, like customer who will be more focused on how reasonable the software itself in terms of cost, time and resources. When I, as a user, how easy for me to learn and use it. As a developer, how easy I can easily design, develop and maintain that. And as a developer manager, how I can please the customer itself with what requirement he's having, and how I can make the software in such a way that it is easy for a developer to develop and also to maintain, and looking into the profitability of the organization who is developing the software for the customer itself. Okay, so that's what the entire software itself. Okay, so in the next session we'll be discussing on what you understand by software engineering. Okay, thank you.